What's good, YouTube? Jayden here. It's time for another video. In this video today, I want to talk to you about how to reduce your flake rate. If you're a guy who's going out, you're approaching women on the street, in bars, in clubs, you're putting yourself out there, you're really asking girls out, you should be interested in how to get flaked less. So each year you want to improve your flake rate, okay? So let's say year 1 you're getting flaked a lot. Year 2 you want to get flaked less. Year 3 you want to get flaked less. Year 4 less and less and less and less and less. You can never have 0 flakes. It's impossible, but you can always drastically reduce your flake rate. And today I want to share with you a mentality, a way of looking at things, a way of doing things that will drastically reduce your flake rate. And also, all of my videos, they're so unique because they all are born from personal experience. And so as well, this video is going to be a lot about my personal experience. And so you go to the bar, you go to the street, you go to the club, blah, 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 blah. You start talking to girls, and what do you want? It's the same thing that I want and every other man wants. We want to have fun, if you know what I mean. We want to bang, okay? Now, it's not always possible to go home with a girl immediately. Why? Because there's not enough time, okay? Maybe she has friends there. Maybe there's things that she needs to do tomorrow or whatever. Maybe she's on her period. Who knows, right? So you can't always go home with a girl the same day, the same night that you meet her, right? And so you have to take a number. You have to take an Instagram to be able to see her again. You have to have some kind of contact information. Now, it's here where all the flaking bullshit happens, because you're trying to set up dates. Hey, let's have drinks tomorrow at 8. Excuse me. Oh, hey, let's go have a slice of pizza tomorrow at 7. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. Okay? You're the guy. You take on the responsibility of asking her out. So you're the one initiating and she's receiving, and then she can go yes or no, or ignore your message, or never respond, or leave you on red, or whatever it is, right? Or say that she's gonna come. Yeah, tomorrow I'll see you. I'll be there 100%. And then she ghosts or disappears or just never shows up, right? And so you want to have less of that every year. And the way that you get less of that is to understand that there's a certain type of guy that women date. And I want to take a moment to explain this, because really this is like the first time I explain it online. It's the first time I explain it here on YouTube. And I'm gonna make more videos about this, but I want this video to be slow and step by step. Now, if you look at the world, okay, this is how I'm gonna explain it to you. You look at YouTube, you look at talk shows, you look at just men interacting with women online. What are you seeing? You're seeing the highlights. When you watch my videos, okay, and you see me walk up to a girl, approach a girl, start a conversation, obviously as a content creator, I'm going to put the best conversations online. I'm going to put the highlights. You're going to see the girl laughing, enjoying my jokes. You're going to see the girl, okay, in a heightened emotional state. Her being overly horny or overly fun, overly having a good time or something like that. You get to see a highlight. The girl's giggling, laughing, enjoying what I'm saying, okay? Same thing if you watch a talk show, Jimmy Kimmel, or you watch somebody that's like known to be a seducer online. Well, what are you going to see? You're going to see the highlights. You're going to see the guy making jokes, the guy being charming, the guy being funny, the girl laughing and giggling and reacting. This is my point. You're going to see the girl reacting. Now, you see that, okay? And you think to yourself, I have to be more like that. I have to be more charming. I have to be more funny. I have to be more intelligent. I have to be more cool, have better stories, have tighter game. And so you go out into the world and you pursue that. You pursue communication, better communication. You pursue being more funny. You pursue being charming, because you think the more charming you become, the more interesting you become, the cooler stories you have, the more that you're able to make the woman react to you, and you think that reaction equals sex. This is what you think, and that's why you're pursuing it. That's why you want to be the most charming guy. That's why you want to be the most confident guy. That's why you want to be the guy with the crazy stories and stuff, because you think that that's what ultimately generates a lot of dates and a lot of sex and a lot of interest from women. But the point is, it's a trap, and this is what I want to talk about today in this video, because it generates something. It generates interest, okay? But there's a lot of people, for example, that are interested in my programs, but they're not buying. Okay, there's a lot of people that are interested in having coaching from me, but they're not having coaching from me, okay? Because interest is just interest. When you guys see someone online on YouTube joking with a girl, flirting with a girl, laughing with her, making videos, making stories, making this, making that, you don't see them hooking up. You don't see them having sex. Obviously, you can't show that on YouTube, okay? But I'm here to tell you that most of the coaches that you see online and most of the guys that you see are cool with girls, whatever, it's just a moment. It's a video of a fucking moment, okay? It doesn't mean that they're dating each other or hooking up or seeing each other. And you want that. You want to actually go on a date with a girl. You want to actually sleep with the girl. You want to actually have her in your life. That's what you actually want. You don't just want to meet a girl and make her laugh and her being like, wow, you're so amazing, and then like never talk to you again. What's the point? What do you get from going out to a bar and making a girl laugh and then never seeing her again? You get nothing, okay? And obviously in the beginning, if you're a guy who's nervous, you're a guy who's, you don't really, have much experience with women, well, you're getting some more experience. But eventually, you know how to talk to girls and stuff like that. You don't really care. You want to get to the end, because the end is the beginning. Once you sleep with the girl, then you can go have dinner with her and go on more dates and fall in love. And like, sex is like the beginning, Then you keep going and going and going and going, right? So you want to get to the end so you can have the beginning, right? You don't just want to be another guy that she's just like have in her phone. She texts sometimes. For what? What? You don't want to be the guy giving free attention, right? And so let me take you back down memory lane. So a lot of guys don't know that, but I rent out apartments, okay? Now less than before, because I'm busy with coaching. I just finished wrapping up a weekend full of coaching. I have so many guys. I coach online and I coach in person. So I had a guy coming here in person. We went to the bar, we went to the street, we went to the nightclub. So I'm working a lot online, and I earn a lot more online than I do with my apartments. So that's why I don't rent out so many apartments anymore. But back in the day, I was renting out a lot of apartments. And back in the day, I used to live with a lot of different girls. Now I live with I'm the only guy, and I live with 4 girls. And these girls are calm and relaxed and like cool roommates. But back in the day, I used to live with crazy girls. And we used to go to party together. We used to do everything. We used to party, go places. Like, I don't really party like with my roommates, maybe sometime. But like back in the day, I used to have like 3 or 4 girls that I lived with, and we used to go every weekend to the party. Okay, we went to, the girls were like 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and they loved to party. I loved to party, and they used to introduce me to girls, and we used to go out a lot, okay? And what I noticed from that is what I want to share with you today, and this is what's going to drastically reduce your flake rate, okay? So check this out. I would go to the club back in the day with my roommates, okay? And I would chill. I would get something from the bar, like let's say a gin and tonic. I'd be there with my roommates, 4 hot girls or whatever it was. And then I would just chill. And if a girl walked by, I would tap her on the shoulder and be like, hey, come over. What's your name? Hey, this is my roommates. What's your name? And I'd do my thing, okay? And I got laid a lot doing it that way. I got laid a lot because I was out with a group of girls, right? But what's interesting is their dynamic with men. This is what I want to share with you today. The insight is their dynamic with men. This is what's interesting. So we would all be in a group together, and guys would come. Tall guys, handsome guys, charming guys, whatever, right? Guys would come, and they'd say hi to me, I was the only guy. They'd say hi to me, they'd say hi to the girls, and they start to do their thing. And I can tell you, there was a lot of guys when I went to nightclubs with these girls. There was a lot of guys who were super fucking funny, man. Funny, charming, tall, interesting, whatever is popular, you know. They were tall, they were funny, charming, muscular. They had stories, they had things to say. And what would happen in 90% of the cases, 95% of the cases, what would happen is the guys would joke with the girls and laugh with the girls and dance with the girls and maybe kiss them, maybe not kiss them, and try to go home with the girls, you know, being a regular guy, right? And some of them succeeded in the night, in the moment, and some of them did not succeed. And I want to talk to you about the guys that didn't succeed, because there was guys that I still remember that was so cool and so funny and so charming. Like, have you ever met a guy and you're like, that guy's a fucking G? You know what I mean? He's interesting, he's cool, he has stories, like he's confident, self-confident. You can tell, like, he gets laid, you know what I mean? You can tell girls like him. And there was many guys that were like approaching the roommates that I had back in the day in these parties that we went to, that were like real G's, you know what I mean? They buy me drinks, they had money, they were funny, they were charming, they had stories, all this kind of stuff, right? And you could tell that the girls that I were with were interested, okay? You could tell, like, their emotions were heightened in the moment. The girls were hyped about the guy in the moment, okay? Then when the guy would take the phone number or the Instagram, I would then check up on my roommates like a couple days later. You know, I'd be like, oh, so did you, what about the guy? What about whatever his name is, you know, Juan or whatever? You gonna go on a date with him? What's going on? Well, you know, what's going on with the guy? And always, like, I'm telling you, in 95% of the cases, and this is very, very key, you gotta really pay attention. You gotta really, 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 really listen. In 95% of the cases, the girls were like, nah, who cares? Nah, no big deal. Nah, I'm not gonna talk to him. Nah. And this, when I first started noticing this, it was a bit strange. And what was really strange was when I looked at who the girls dated. Okay, so they meet this guy in the club that was a G, top G, you know what I mean? Like, funny, cool, charming, handsome, interesting, jokes, stories. The guy that all of you want to be. Okay, the kind of guy, if you see a YouTube video of the guy, you'd be like, yeah, I want to be like him. So she would, like, enjoy him in the moment, flirt, dance, talk, take the phone number, and then, but never go on a date, never answer him. And what was strange was, well, because we used to live together back in the day, so I used to see who they date, who they have sex with, and who they spend time with, and who they eat with and cook. And, you know, if you live together with someone, you see their life, right? And it was always boring guys. And I'm just gonna keep it real. There was always guys who were like, not that funny, not that charming, not that handsome, not that cool stories, not, like, I would meet the guys and I'd be like, yeah, okay, you know, nothing too crazy. And then we go to clubs and I'd meet guys in the clubs together with my roommates in the time. And I'd be like, this guy's a fucking G. I could tell he got the good energy, he got the good stories. He's a funny, cool, interesting guy, like the kind of guy that everybody wants to be. And then with him, the girls would be like, yeah, maybe I can fuck him tonight. And sometimes they would. And then, but most of the time, 95% of the time, they'd be like, I don't know, maybe I'll text him one day. They wouldn't take him seriously. But then they would bring home other guys that were not funny at all. Didn't have any stories at all. Maybe not the best looking guys either. But they would want to be with that guy and eat with him and date him and answer his messages and spend time and have fun and build some kind of life with that guy, okay? And so it made me realize from seeing this over and over and over and over and over and over again, that what makes you really have less flakes, and as soon as I started experimenting with this, this really, really helped me out a lot, is instead of walking up to a girl, and I used to do this all the time. I used to walk up to a girl and just joke all the time. Joke all the time, laugh all the time, share stories like this. And then when the girls ask me, so what do you do for a living? I'd be like, don't worry about it, baby. And I wouldn't tell them personal things about myself. I wouldn't present myself like a real person. I'd present myself like a funny, charming, cool, interesting guy, like with stories and, you know, mysterious and all that kind of stuff. But then again, some girls would ignore me and some girls would, you know, respond. But the more that I presented myself like a normal guy, and like instead of trying to be this like crazy fun guy with all the stories and all this cool and interesting stuff, I presented myself a more boring, more normal. I tell girls, hey, I own a business, I go to the gym. Or they would text me, oh, what are you doing today? I'd be like, yeah, I was cleaning my apartment today. The more I committed to talking about normal things with women, presenting myself like a normal person, talking about work, talking about real life, real stuff, the more dates I got, the more girls responded to my messages, the more girls were interested. I got flaked less. And me, back in the day, I believed in something different because I thought that it's the coolest and most interesting and most charming and most funny and most intelligent, the max. You know, you want to be like the max. I thought you want to be the max of the max of the max of the max. You know, you want to max out your character stats. I thought that it's this guy that gets everyone, but it's not this guy that gets everyone. This guy, he does get laid. Of course. You're charming, you're funny, you're confident, you do get laid. But most of the time, when you meet a girl, and she has a boyfriend, for example, or she has a guy she's dating, meet the guy, talk to him, shake his hand, and you're gonna know, like I know, it's not always, 90% of the time, it's not the most funny guy. It's a normal guy. He will shake your hand, hello, how are you? He has no stories, boring. He is not he doesn't have that special X factor, that the thing that makes a person amazing. Most of the time, when a girl has a boyfriend or is dating a girl or dating a guy, sleeping with a guy, it's just a normal person that she can relate to on another level than just attraction. And that's my key point, okay? My key point is this, guys. I have not done laundry the whole weekend, so that's the first thing I'm gonna do after this video. Okay, I got, man, all this weekend coaching. I was barely home, and I only came home just to sleep. So it's been a long weekend. I gotta organize my regular life. So my key point to this whole video is that if you want to get flaked less, you want to reduce your flake rate, it's not by becoming the most charming and cool and interesting guy with the most amazing stories and who smells the best and is the most muscular and the most, because that's our kind of trap we fall in as guys. We want to be the best at everything because we think once we're the best at everything, we will get everything. But look at who the women are actually dating. And I can tell you, almost every time, when you meet a girl, when she introduces her boyfriend to you, or you see the guy she sleeps with, it's just a normal guy. He doesn't have a lot of stories, doesn't have a lot of money, doesn't have a lot of anything. But the girl is able to relate to him in ways other than attraction. Because when you walk up to the girl in the bar, in the street, in the nightclub, if it's just attraction, you know, you have perfect eye contact with her, you're funny, you're charming, you're just relating on attraction. It's just pure attraction. She is 100% attracted to you in the moment. And I can tell you, when I used to go out with my roommates back in the day, when we went to clubs, they were 100% attracted to these guys, 100%. But they didn't sleep with these guys. They didn't date these guys. They didn't spend time with these guys. They didn't do anything with these guys. And it's because the guys that they did things with, that they spent time with, that they hung out with, that they ate with, that they walked and talked with and met again and again and again and again and again and again, were the guys that they related to in other ways than attraction. Yes, attraction, but other ways. And so nowadays, when I go on a date or when I spend time with a girl, when I talk with a girl out there in the real world, yes, I am charming. Yes, I am funny, but I try not to do it too much. I'll walk in, I'll make a joke too. Okay, cool. Now she knows. Okay, I'll tell her one story. Okay, now she knows. Like, okay, this guy's cool. Then I tone the coolness down. Okay, I'm not there to show her I am the fucking coolest person ever. I talk less about that, share less in stories, and I try to find other ways to connect with her. I share things about my personal life. I tell them about my work. I tell them about what I like in terms of regular stuff, work, health, gym. I tell them I cleaned my house today. Back in the day, I never told a girl I cleaned. I'd be like, I buy a fucking cleaner, you know, because I was the G, or I presented myself like the G, like I got everything. I don't give a shit about anything, you know, like this. But now, the more older I get, I just try to present myself. Hey, I'm a normal person. I got struggles just like you. You know, I work just like you. And here's my business. Here's the things that I do. Da 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 da. And surprise, surprise, surprise. Now it's easier to get a date. I get flaked less. I still get flaked, but it's been drastically reduced. I think the time where I got flaked the most was when I was the most charming and the most confident and the most fun, and because it's unrelatable. Imagine from a girl's perspective, a guy walks up to you in a club and he's got all the stories. He got cool stories. Everybody knows him. He's funny. He's charming. It's unrelatable. She's not that cool. And it's because she's not that cool. She's not so cool. She knows everybody, makes all the money, is the most interesting and charming and funny. It's just a girl. So you're like too cool, you know what I mean? Or you're too confident or too charming and too intelligent. And that's why when you meet their boyfriends or the guys they date, it's never the most charming and confident and charismatic and just like a guy that's like so charismatic he can do anything in the world. It's never that guy, because it's unrelatable. She's not that charming. Like, it's too much. The gap is too big. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So for me, really, 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 nowadays, I try to present myself more boring, more normal, more relaxed. Because I know, usually, from what I've seen, and I've seen a lot of guys have success with women, usually, even my clients that are the most normal, like an architect with a nice apartment, who has a good family, he's relaxed, nothing too crazy. It's always these motherfuckers that get laid the most. Always. Because normality, it's relatable. Because most girls that you meet are normal. They're just beautiful, but they're normal. They do normal things. They cook, they eat, they clean, they have struggles, they go to work. There are things that they're afraid of. And if you come and you present yourself like completely fearless, and you're incredibly charming and funny and intelligent, and you're just too high, it's too relatable. And what you're gonna do is, just like what happened back in the day when I go out with my roommates, the guy would approach and he'd be a fucking G. And I could tell you, I looked at him, I'd be like, or I looked at the guys, but you guys are G's. You're so fucking cool. You got money, you got charm, you got charisma, like the kind of guy, like everybody wants to be that guy. Like, and me too, I wanted to be that guy for so many years. And I realized that guy, the main struggle when you're that guy is you're spiking emotions constantly. Women are really reacting to you and joking, and you stimulate women a lot. You're a stimulating person. But the secret here is, and I've said it again and again in this video, the women, when they actually are dating, meaning they're actually going to eat the dinner with you, or walking with you, or spending time in your house, or, you know, eating with you and fucking you and all that kind of stuff, it's never the most stimulating guy. It's never the most charming guy. It's never the most of anything. It's always the guy that they can relate to. The guy that's relatable to them. And because we're meeting normal women, we're not meeting Victoria's Secret women who are getting flown in helicopters every fucking day and like, wear $50,000 watches and fucking expensive Gucci bags and No, we're just meeting regular girls in bars and clubs and on the street. You know what I mean? Yeah, yes, they are beautiful, but they are normal people. Like they're studying something, or you know what I mean? So you have to create that initial attraction by having some jokes, some stories, some eye contact, some charm about you, some charisma about you. But then as soon as she kind of understands, okay, he's cool, then you gotta focus on being relatable. And the more relatable you are, the more that you're gonna actually get laid. Now that's all I wanted to say in this video today. If you like this video, like the goddamn video. I make these videos because I love you, and because after each video, if you really apply the things that I talk about, you will get laid, you will get results. And if you have any struggles, any worries, any concerns, or anything you would like to get help with, you check out my website. You can find all my coaching there at www.awakeninstinct.com. Now that's all I had to say in this video today. Okay, this video today. If you want to see more videos like this, please make sure to subscribe. I am at your service, guys. And this week, I'm going to make so many fucking videos. So stay tuned for that, okay? Take care, guys. Peace.